Jonathan, thank you so much for jumping on the AIM podcast.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm super excited to be on here, bro.
Dude, I'm pumped. But you know what? I'm even more pumped for jumping in the ring with you, bro. I think I could take you.
Oh, really? All right.
I was
A lot
watching
of
some of
people
your
take it.
film.
Say what?
I was watching some of your film with Richie up in New York this past week. I know you just trained with him recently at his gym, man. And I don't know, man. I feel like we could get after it.
Oh man, I think we definitely could. That probably wasn't the best video you could have watched of me. You know, I at that time and mindset, I wasn't really working on my nutrition, and a lot of stuff was happening. So I wasn't like nutritionally well to like work out. So I didn't perform the best, but
I love it, bro. Some of the videos were hilarious. There was a video I saw of you. I think it was Devin was like pouring water down your back or something.
Yeah, trying to cool me down. I loved it. It was kind of cool, so it's kind of funny as well.
I love it, bro. What is your hat? Is that whose brand is that?
That's me. So the J Hub, just promoting my just boxing, and then just like what I stand for and stuff.
I love that, dude. I noticed it. I was like, man, that's a cool hat. I got to get one.
Yeah, most definitely. You can go to my on my Instagram, and I have a little link for where you can get it and stuff.
Let's go, bro. Well, dude, I'm just super excited about this episode. You're a huge inspiration, and I just honestly, bro, I just love what you're doing. To be honest, it's very cut and dry. Like you are killing the game, and your positivity, the way you approach everything is just like that's what jacks me up, bro. Like your boxing stuff is cool, and we can talk about that, but just like your consistent positivity in everything you do, bro, is like contagious, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. No, you know, I've always like wanted to be like that image of like just positivity, always like motivating other people. I actually used to be a like personal trainer, a head trainer at a boxing facility, and always just love like helping people, and just anytime someone has like a doubt that they can't do it, I just want to be there and be like, no, you can, because if I'm doing it, then you can too. There's no excuse. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, 100%. Where did that come from? Like, where did you derive those emotions or feelings to want to help people?
I've always been like that. I've taken a couple like personal development classes, and then there's like a gem class, right? And like there's pearls, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds. And like I'm mostly a pearl, which those are like people like you want to spread positivity, you want to like help people. I'm the dude that sings Kumbaya at the campsite, you know what I'm saying? Save the whales kind of thing. But I don't know, like it's just built into me. Like I've always been that person. I've always been the person where like people come to me for like advice, or they want to just chat, and like I just put them in a better mood, you know?
Yes, dude. And I feel that like, and it's cool. We've gotten to kind of connect, I guess, through Promix. Promix is probably how we connected, and just hitting your stuff on IG, like watching your content, texting, DMing, going back and forth. Like, dude, that's something that I've genuinely felt, and I haven't had the opportunity to meet you in person yet, which I'm excited because I know we'll eventually get to link in person and get a workout in, and whatever. But like that's the vibe I get from you. Like I feel that even through that type of interaction, which is it's so powerful, bro.
Thank you, man. Yeah, and definitely we got to get in that ring, bro. We gotta, we'll see what you can do.
I'm just messing with you, bro. No, we definitely should. But boxing's cool, dude, and we can talk about it. But my background's in basketball. I played college basketball, but there was one summer, I think it was after my sophomore year, where I did actually like did some boxing stuff like over the summer, just kind of not super seriously, but just enough to like, do some workouts, get on the bag a little bit. And I really enjoyed it, bro. And it's way harder than it looks, especially what I noticed. Like, I was like, man, you're just standing on a bag. Can't be that hard. But like breathing wise, bro, like I didn't fully know how to do it. And I was gassed, just a couple punches on the bag, and I was out of breath.
Oh, and it's totally different from like weightlifting, basketball. Like,
yeah,
I mean, just to compare it to, because I haven't really played basketball other than like, shoot horse or something. Right. But like for like weightlifting, like you're expressing, that oxygen out when you lift out. But like with boxing, it's not only when you like lift out, there's times when you have to move and you have to
Sure.
gain your breath back and keep that your breath in a controlled state, because if not, then you'll get just over exaggerated from energy. And I mean, you experience it. Like I was telling someone today that like saw one of my boxing videos. It's like if you just go there and just hit the bag, just nonstop, 1 2 1 2, and do it at a simple pace for 2 minutes, 30-second rest, and do that for like 3 rounds. It's going to be boring, but it's like you're going to be out of breath, and you're like, what am I like? I'm just here, just tapping the bag, you know?
Yeah, 100%. No, that's huge, bro. And to be honest with you, man, like it's cool to see your brand, your journey, and everything you're doing, man. And you're crushing it. Like you're on an incredible weight loss journey. I'd love to kind of talk about your story a little bit, if you're cool with that, and kind of dive into, take it wherever you want to start it, man. And then we can kind of peel back some layers there. But what you're doing is really, really powerful. So I want to dive into it.
Yeah, most definitely. So like I started boxing in like 2008, 2009, or right around there. And I joined this like fitness facility, where it was based out of Kansas, and it kind of blew up. But they had like fight teams, MMA, kickboxing, boxing, jujitsu, and I did a little bit of everything. And boxing just kind of felt natural to me. And then my boxing coach kind of saw like how hard I was hitting the bag, and like just my size, because I've always been a decently bigger kid, and I've always like lost weight, gained weight, lost weight. And I kind of took it really serious when, he kind of showed me how boxing like really works, and like the technician of it. And I just fell in love with that place. And that was like my hangout spot. Like after high school, or during high school, sorry, after class, I would go there. Like I didn't really like hang out with a lot of people like after school. That was my hangout spot. And if people want to come with me, they could. But I loved the boxing gym. And that's where I met most of my friends, most people, that like most of my coaches and stuff like that. And just fell in love. And then like kind of like the stock market kind of crashed around that time. So I had to make some choices where I had to kind of pull away from that, work 3 jobs while going to school. And because my family wasn't like in a good state, so I had to sacrifice for something for me. So of course, gaining weight back, we moved to Arizona because there's a job opportunity, and I'm doing my own thing there, a heavy bag and stuff. And then come back home, I'm down 155 pounds, and feeling great. Actually had time for myself to like focus on myself. And I became a head trainer at a fitness facility. I was working at like Walmart overnight, plus leading like free fitness camps here in my own little town, just to kind of give back. And then working with like this other like nutritional company. And I was doing all this work to like start my own little like a wellness center, with a little smoothie shop attached to it, right? And I was doing, my big why was like my dad, and some things happened where my dad had congested heart failure. He ended up passing away. And so from there, I kind of like gradually started gaining weight back, because he was like my why. And I lost, to me, because I just wasn't mentally prepared for that. And my mindset wasn't good. And I just, in my mind, I was like, I lost my why, I lost my drive. And then I gradually started gaining the weight back. And I got to a point where I was like, I gotta lose this weight again. I have to lose this weight again. And so I started like trying to lose weight, and I was down like 16 pounds. And it was after like 2 years after my dad passed away. And I was at 16 pounds within like, I think it was like 14 days or like 12 days or something like that. And then I get another phone call that my brother like overdosed on fentanyl. And so that kind of just put me down more into the deeper rabbit hole, right? Of not doing the right things, eating out and stuff like that. And then I wanted to like experience life. And so the reason I started the J Hub channel is like, I just want to like experience life, go do stuff, because I kind of, I was doing all that work, and then I just kind of like didn't do anything with my 20s. I didn't enjoy my 20s. So I wanted to go like skydiving, zip lining, and all that stuff. And there were some activities I couldn't do. So I started getting back into the boxing gym, and really focusing on working out and stuff. And then my video went viral when I posted it on TikTok, and we're kind of just right here right now, and yeah, it's kind of my story right now.
I love that, man. And you've done like I said, I don't want to be redundant here, but like it really is cool to see. And I appreciate, first off, that you sharing, the context there with your family and your story, and going through stuff like that is not easy, to say the least. And I haven't had to necessarily experience the same exact kind of struggle or pain that you have, losing people that you love so much, that are so close to you. I've definitely had my fair share of adversity through my family dysfunction and stuff like that. And I can definitely assimilate and relate and resonate with that type of pain. But it's, what you said there is powerful, about how, you had a why, a vision, like a motivator. And then, as things kind of happen to you, you've got to keep moving forward ultimately. And I think that's something that, when I look at you and look at your story, like, that's, life happens, and life is very tough. And there are times, that when it literally punches in the face, and we have that opportunity to say, what, I'm going to make the decision to keep pushing forward no matter what happens to me externally. And I'm going to make an impact and use my platform and story to help others. And I think that's something that you've done really, really well. And I'm excited to see how you continue on that trajectory.
Well, and someone talked to me during that hard time. Someone always said to me is, they said, yeah, you're knocked down right now. You're knocked out. And so take that 8 to 9 seconds count, but you have to get up on the, before that time. So you can stay on the ground for a little bit, but you have to pick yourself up. And that always like resonated with me, is like, take your time, breathe, and then get back up and get going again. Because even like right now, I mean, like you said, challenges come. Like during this whole time, like my mom actually just got cancer. Like during when that video like blew up, like she had lung cancer. She was in the hospital dealing with that, her getting COVID as well behind that. And so, just dealing with those kind of challenges as well. And like, I told myself, I was like, I'm not stopping. Like, yeah, this is definitely like unbelievably hard, but I can't stop. I've started something. I have to keep going. I maybe be a little bit slow at first, but I'm still pushing as hard as I can, no matter what, and doing whatever I can.
So it's so good, bro. Talk about the cool thing about this platform is that we want to express to our community, to the people that, resonate with this mindset of ambition, that it purely is a mindset. Like, it truly is a decision you make mentally to decide how you want to live your life. And that can be applied to literally anything. And so I want you to talk a little bit more about that decision that you made mentally, to have that ambition, to have that drive, to have that motivation, to push through tough times and say, what, I'm going to stop. There's no excuses. There's nothing that's going to stand in my way. No hurdle, no adversity is going to stop me. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to make the choices to better my life. And I'm going to help people while I do that. Talk about that mental decision you made and kind of what was going on there.
So at first, like I said, it was like, I'm doing this for me. I want to go travel the world, do all this fun stuff. And then like when my mom got sick, and I was like, man, I have to better myself to help her, because if I'm in a bad state, which I was, like, I'm way better where I was, but at that current time, like health wise, I was not in a good place. And I had to better myself to help her. And especially with, how everything's going, I have the potential to help her even more and give her the life, she deserves. And so she's my why. And so every morning I kind of remind myself, like, no matter what, like even days where I'm not like wanting to like work out or wanting to eat right, like I just think of her, and not only her, is the people that are watching me now. It's like I get messages all the time that's like, man, you motivate me, you got me back in the gym to lifting weights or shooting basketball or whatever it might be. I mean, all the time I get messages, and that self is like motivates me to like, I have to keep going. And no matter what, like no matter what struggles come in my way, like if my car breaks down, do whatever it takes. Like actually, that's what my wristband here says, whatever it takes, like get it done, get it over with, and proceed. Like I'm constantly filling myself with motivation, constantly just listening to people like yourself. Like, man, I love like when I hear your videos, I was like, man, this got me going. Like I need to go work out. And I know that it's not just for only me now. Like I'm not being, it's not selfish for yourself, but it'd be selfish for me to stop, because yeah, it's my choice, but not only I'm doing this for myself, but I'm doing it for my mom, the people that are watching me, the people that are just motivated by me. So I have to keep going. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And you have to have that mindset to say, we're going to do this no matter what. Like, I always believe that there's like these three types of people: that people that kind of want to do something, you know, really want to do it, but they just don't know what direction, and people that will do whatever it takes to get it done. And I'm that third person. So
You really are, bro. And dude, I'm about to get emotional. Like it's in a serious note. Like when we started, my friends and I started this movement, this platform, Ambition in Mind, I didn't know what real motivation was. I thought I did. But when you have somebody, anyone reach out to you, text you, DM you, call you and say, dude, what you're doing is changing my life. It's getting me out of depression. It's getting me out of bed. And I'm sure you've had the same type of response. You've had messages like that. Those messages hit different, bro. And it's like, you can't ever stop. Like that is like, dude, that is like pouring gasoline on a fire, dude. That is like, I'll never stop. And there will be hurdles. There'll be days where I wake up, I'm like, man, am I really making an impact? Is all this effort, energy, is all this worth it? One person, it's worth it, bro. And it's just a game, dude. And then you just like, how many more people can I help? How many more lives can I touch? Can I help somebody that goes and helps somebody else? Can we play the ripple game? Like that is what it's coming down to. And it's just like, it's such a blessing, bro. And I'm so glad that you're doing the same thing. It's so cool.
yeah, no, and like you said, it hits totally different, because I remember one of my friends who was like, was an alcoholic and stuff. Like he moved away and stuff, and we still stay in contact. But he's like, bro, like I watch your videos, and like it helps me to not like drink. And I'm like, really? Like, you know, I'm like, yeah, dude, like you motivate me because like you're doing the thing, and I know that I can be better. And so that kind of like opened my eyes like big. I'm like, I didn't know I had that kind of impact. And then I started receiving more messages like that. And like you said, it was just gasoline to the fire. I was like, there's no stopping. There cannot be no stopping.
Let's go. I love it. Well, I'm always here to support you in any way you go. And I want to talk about boxing. I want to kind of hone in a little bit here. So I know you mentioned it it was something that you did, you got involved, but like what got you, like what actually got you into boxing? Was it something that you just enjoyed doing as a kid? Like how'd you get exposed to it? What was kind of the story there?
So my brother actually took me to that little boxing facility. I've always wanted to be like, always did like karate when I was a like young kid. I always loved martial arts. And my brother was actually taking me to go do like jujitsu at that place. And I did jujitsu, liked it, but then I like did the boxing part, and I just fell in love. It just clicked with me, where it was like, man, this is it. Was my thing. And like I said, my coach saw the potential in me and started teaching me, and that got me even more like intrigued in it. Learning something new, and then seeing the potential in myself, and doing some of the stuff. Like when I was there, like that was my hangout spot. Like even during like spring break, I would go there. I would go there at like 5 o'clock in the morning when it opened, and 9 o'clock when it closed at night. And I'd be there the whole day taking classes, learning new stuff. I was there just watching my coach doing mitt work with people, learning how to hold mitts with people, and just the tips that he was giving and stuff like that. And it was kind of like love at first sight. I know that sounds corny, but it was just perfect for me. And I love teaching it to people as well. Like I love when I see someone at the gym, I try not to be like the guy like, oh, you're doing that wrong. But if I see someone like having a hard time like throwing their jab or like turning their punches over, like I'll be like, hey, can I give you a tip? And most of the time like, yeah. And I show them, and just me teaching them how to like turn their hip over and turning with their shoulder into the punch, just it puts a smile on my face. It excites me because I'm not only like teaching someone, but I'm leaving my mark, and hopefully they can teach someone down the road the same thing.
Dude, I think that's super cool. It honestly, it resonates because your relationship with boxing sounds a lot like my relationship with basketball growing up. Like I got into it. Honestly, I fell in love with the game. I fell in love with the competition. I fell in love with the craft. And then simultaneously, like as I was dealing with a lot of hardships as a child, like it was an outlet and it was a place for me to escape. It was a place for me to go. And then dude, there's so many layers to it. Cause then what happened is it turned into, as I matured and kind of developed physically, mentally, like it became a way for me to touch lives and reach people and build relationships and help others. Like kind of like what you're saying, dude. And it's just so cool to see how sports and things like that can have such a profound impact beyond just the actual sport itself.
Right. And that was something too I forgot to mention. It was definitely an outlet when I was going through some hard times. Like, I mean, just going to hit the heavy bag or the speed bag or whatever, like it would just, that amount of time that I was on those objects or working out in boxing in general, like the world's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like this is where I'm at, and there's nothing outside like in fact, like bothering me anymore. So it was definitely like a therapeutic kind of feeling.
100%, bro. What does your training look like now, day to day, week to week? Like, how do you break it up? I'm just super, super curious about that.
So currently, Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturday, Sundays are more like weightlifting with like CrossFit kind of style workout. And then I also will add some like boxing circuits or something in there as well. But then also Tuesday, Thursday, Friday is just strictly like boxing. I'll go to the boxing gym and focus on bag work, feet drills. First thing when I get into the boxing gym is I jump rope for 4 rounds, 2 minutes, 30-second rest in between. Of course, there's times where I get just tired and, I just kind of like jump rope in place without a jump rope. But after that, then my coaches want me to do, our building's kind of wide. It's like part of a strip mall. So I have to walk or run that strip mall like 5 to 6 times. And then after that, I get wrapped up, go hit the heavy bag for about 6 rounds. The slip bag as well, that's kind of in there as well. And then from there, my coaches will do like hold mitts for me for another 6 rounds. And we do core, we do some circuit workouts, some shoulder conditioning, and then I kind of end the day, come back and work on my nutrition. But when I'm like lifting weights and stuff, it's kind of a little bit all over the place of like what I'm targeting. Sometimes it's targeting like cardio, so I'll do more like circuit or CrossFit. If I'm targeting more like strength wise, of course I'll do like more strict wise like weights, but I like to add more of a faster heart pace, so I'll do like supersets. And I'll always do like 2 to 3 different kind of workouts, normally 2 kind of weights, and then like a third one would be like a body weight or something like that.
That's super cool. How many days are people supposed to be on heavy bags? You're not, that's not an everyday thing, right? You're supposed to only do that a few times a week.
I mean, you can be on a heavy bag. Every day. I think you can do it every day and that's totally fine. But if you want to, because it kind of gets, what's the word? Repetition or repetitious. And so like, yeah, break it up maybe 3 to 4 times a week. 30 minutes, hour, whatever, it just matters on what your goal is. It's a full body workout, you know what I'm saying? Like that matter on what kind of bag you have. Maybe it's 100-pound bag. You throwing a punch and you moving that, like, yes, it's cardio, but it's also kind of like weightlifting as well, because you're putting into the force into that punch. So you can definitely build like lean muscle. It just matters on your goal. If you're just trying to say for like bodybuilders, like, I would suggest bodybuilders getting on that bag for 20 to 30 minutes and use that as their like cardio. And then they go do whatever they do with their weightlifting, you know what I'm saying? But I would do it maybe 3 times a week, you know what I'm saying? It just matters kind of on your goals.
Yeah. And do you have any fights planned, or how does that, like, what does that world look like? I'm sure there's obviously just the training component. That's a big piece of it. But then if you go down the route of competition, like how does that work?
So currently, I have someone that wants to sponsor like a pay-per-view fight. But they want some numbers. And so I have a platform where we'll charge like $5, the idea is we're going to have like a sparring like match or whatever with a whole bunch of people, but of course I'm going to be in there, and then present those numbers to that sponsor that wants to sponsor the pay-per-view fight, because it's all about money, of course. And so potentially, yes, there is fights in the works. Currently, it's just focus on weight loss, and then focus on just getting better with myself, and then we can present those numbers later on. So
yeah, I love that. That's amazing. So that's kind of what the training looks like. That's the plan. What about diet and nutrition? Talk a little bit about that, kind of some of the things you're eating to obviously stay fueled and ready to go to attack training with a full head of steam.
So first off, anybody that tells you to not eat or just eat like a rabbit, like, don't listen to them, because there's been a few people that have told me, oh, you should just don't eat, you got enough, you'll be fine. And when I was telling you, I wasn't in the best mindset, because I took advice from someone that I just shouldn't have. But yeah, when I was training with Richie, I was not at the best, fueled wise for that. But currently, so what happens I wake up roughly around like 5:45, get ready for work. I have me a Promix smoothie, and sometimes like I'll feel fancy and like, put it in the blender, but most of the times I put it in the shaker bottle, shake it up, and then I'll have a banana and some like frozen grapes or something with my Promix shake. I also have eggs in the morning as well with it. And so after a while, after like 3 to 4 hours, I have my lunch. And so right now I'm eating, I have these meals from Freshly that they're prepackaged meal. They're full of protein, carbs, fats, everything that I need. That was a big thing for me, because my time's just so limited with work and with boxing and with my mom's cancer, I mean, we're always going to some kind of doctor's appointment, and me working out, and just all in general, there's times where I was just like cooking meal preps at like 11 o'clock at night, and I need to wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to go help out at work because I'm a supervisor for security. And so the freshly meals are definitely helping me out. And so I would have that. And then roughly about the same, like close to 3 to 4 hours, I have a snack in which I'll have like pineapple with some more Promix of the vegan protein. In the morning, I have the whey protein. But I have the vegan protein with the snack with some pineapple and like a bell pepper. I'll eat a bell pepper like an apple. And then a little bit after that, about the same time, I use the Promix vegan protein as just a nice little like pre-snack before I go work out. And then I work out, head home, and then I have another like whey Promix little smoothie. But I like to add like the BCAAs in there, the peptides and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. I'm well over a gallon a day. Like I drink, because this is a liter, and I drink like 5, 6 of those a day, so.
I love that, dude. We'll talk about your decision. You mentioned Promix a lot throughout the nutrition, which is amazing. I love Promix, obviously. Talk about your decision to work with a company like Promix, why you did it, as someone who is training so much, and obviously you're going to be competing and doing a lot of cool stuff. Like, why did you go with a company like Promix to work with?
So they were the like first company to like literally hit me up and be like, hey, we want to help your journey. And so just doing a little research into them and what they stand for, and no artificial anything. Like I was like, okay, let's give this a try. And they had me do like for like a month, and I enjoyed the products. The products weren't tasting bad. That was like one thing I was like, hopefully, they don't taste horrible or whatever, but actually like they're really good, like tasting wise, and knowing that what's in them is just natural and it's clean. It was like, okay, let's keep doing this. And I felt a different way, and because they believed in me, I also believe in them. So they reciprocated to me, like they want to help out no matter what. And the same thing, like I'm here to help Promix, blow up as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's take it to new levels. Let's, I don't know what the company's net worth is, but just how this family is, because once I joined, like you even hit me up, you were excited, you know what I'm saying? And that was something too, is like, I have like a support team behind me as well. So, I had a couple, people like hit me up, but like, they didn't like, they didn't want to have like a one-on-one conversation. Like, oh, being an ambassador or be all this. And, it just felt like we're here to make a quick buck, but it feels like Promix is like a family, you know what I'm saying? And so that's a big thing to me, is like having that unity, and like me being able to like hit you up, or Devin, or just anybody with a Promix family, and be like, hey, I have a question about this product, or hey, I'm having troubles, and then I know that you guys kind of have my back, you know what I'm saying?
100%, dude. I think that's huge. And yeah, it's cool. Like vice versa, bro. It's cool to see like people like you come to the brand and want to support it and get behind it and honestly believe in it, because it's super powerful. And it's cool to see how it's like making an impact in your training too. Like it works. It's legit.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. Excuse me for cussing. I didn't.
You're good, bro. Dude, that's amazing. So, all right. Well, I kind of want to shift gears again. I appreciate that. Just kind of as we wrap this thing up, I do want to talk about just like, I think there's value you can bring to so many people. And I think a lot of times people try to give advice, or people try to talk about things that maybe they haven't experienced. And it's hard to do that. And I think everyone, no matter, what you've gone through, whether you've gone through the hardest of times or the best of times, you should always try to help people. But when you come across somebody that has really gone through it and really pushed themselves and really gotten outside of themselves to do something bigger, I love kind of having that conversation. If you could give one piece of advice, just drop some value here, of someone that's at a position in their life where they need to make a change to be a better version of themselves, say physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever. How do you advise someone to make that first step or to do that? What would you say there?
I would say look at your situation, because I always believe that everything is like a math problem, right? And maybe it's the worst problem that you possibly could have for yourself. But with a math problem, there's always a solution. There's always an answer. And you just need to work it out to find that answer. God forbid, if I had like diabetes or some kind of like, my thyroid was bad or something like that, like, okay, that's another problem to that math equation. I'm going to have to figure it out. And if you really want this and you really want to do it, you're going to take the time, and maybe it takes a little bit. And sometimes that's how it is. It's not just 2 + 2 = 4. No, it's 2 + 2 times 56 divided by 0.5, whatever it might be. The equation is like, you just have to take it step by step, baby step by baby step. And as long as you're moving an inch forward, you're progressing and you're making progress. And that's the most important thing, is just do the best you possibly can today, and just do a little bit better the next day. And the following day, just do a little bit better than that. And that's all you got to do. And as that progresses, it's going to get better. Don't look at for like the big gaps. Look for the small stuff and keep moving forward. That's all you have to do.
Dude, I love that. And you can apply that to anything, bro. Like, honestly, like even business, or like, this platform, this, our podcast and what we're trying to do with AIM. I personally get caught up in that. And I'm always like, man, our team, we have this grand vision of where we want this to go and what we want it to look like. And it's so exciting. At the same time, it's also so scary, because it's like, how do we get from where we are today to that point? And I think what people miss is like, one, it takes time. You have to be patient. I'm literally preaching to myself, because I have to remind myself this every day. But two, like you said, it's literally just be like, okay, one step today, one step tomorrow, and just keep pushing a little bit by little bit. And over time, you'll get to where you are supposed to be. But you can't reverse engineer it. You can't be like, oh, okay, I'm going to be there tomorrow. That's not how it works. So that's super good, dude. I think that's killer.
Yeah, and I think that people want that overnight success, and I think people just they get hyped with that like, oh, overnight success, I blow up or whatever. Like, people don't know, like, I've been boxing, like I said, I've been boxing since 08, 09, and one of my videos finally popped off, like, and that wasn't my goal, you know what I'm saying? It just happened that way. But like the time, the effort, the blood, the sweat, the broken knuckles, you know what I'm saying? Like just everything all in general, like made that video what it was. And it wasn't overnight success. And now we're just progressing little by little, baby step by baby step.
That's good. And one more thing that I just thought of that you made me think of was, when people have problems in their life, tough times. You talked about this. Like, I love how you related to a math equation. I think it's so good. There's always there's a solution, right? There's an answer to the problem, right? I think a lot of times in life, what we have to do is really understand the power of perspective, and how, like, literally, like, dude, I'm drinking this glass of water. Like, yeah, I'm running low. I've been drinking it throughout the podcast, but one version of this could be like, man, I'm about to run out of water. The other version could be like, dude, I still have water left to drink. Like, let's go. Like, let's be fired up. And like, that is the same thing too. It's where it's like, no matter what you're going through, hard times, bad environment, you don't have the job you want. You're not where you want to be physically. You're not where you want to be mentally. Guess what? If you're alive and you're breathing and you're well, you have an opportunity to change those things. And that's the mindset you have to go into it. It's not about what you don't have or, what you're dealing with. It's about what you can do and how you can overcome it. And I think that's where people just have to, it's just a tiny shift and then you're good. And you just got to believe it. And you got to put it, it's got to come from your heart and you just got to believe it.
And I mean, and we take it to this perspective, like, oh, I don't have the best job and my life just sucks. Like, are you moving forward like that? Like, you're not. So, like you said, just turn that mindset to look at one positive thing out the day. And maybe your day is just full of just complete horribleness, right? But for some reason, like, there has to be something positive. You woke up, you got to experience the sunlight today. Like, that's one positive thing, right? There's people today that weren't supposed to be here today. You know what I'm saying? So, aren't here today. Sorry. And their opportunity is gone. God forbid on them and stuff like that. But you have another chance. Every day is a new day to go after for what you have. And I think that people just needed, like you said, just turn that switch, look for one positive thing, and then each day look for another positive thing. And like, people will learn how to push themselves and motivate themselves into the direction that they need to go.
Couldn't have said it better, bro. I love that, man. I am just so grateful for you, the person you are, and your willingness to come on this podcast. I know you're a busy dude. You've got a lot of cool stuff going on. Anything you want to leave us with other than that, man? Is there anything you're working on you want to promote or shout out, man? The floor is yours, man. I want to make sure our community supports you and everything you're doing, because you're doing some great stuff.
Just, keep a lookout for like upcoming events for, my fights that should be coming up in the near future. Time wise, I can't say when, but I can say within the next 6 months to a year. Also, go check out the J Hub merch on my channel, on my platform. I'm also, like I said, I'm busy. I'm a little bit behind on my Promix videos for my 90-day challenge, but I'm working on those every day and trying to get those set up. So my YouTube channel, same thing, the J Hub. And yeah, guys, just go out there and just do a little bit better each day. That's all I can say is, and you guys will do wonderful things. I promise you that.
Let's go. I love it, bro. Hey, you let me know when the fights come and I'm there, bro. We'll bring the whole AIM team. We'll be there.
Hey, let's go, bro.
Yeah. Hey, dude, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, man. This was a pleasure.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, man. It's an honor.
Let's go. See you, homie.